חברים, שלום, אני מבקשת לברך את כולם ולהודות לכולכם שבאתם. אנחנו מתחילים את השידור, אז אני אודה לכולם על שקט ולסגור טלפונים בבקשה. אני על הרמקול. אוקיי. Hello, good afternoon everybody, and welcome to the inauguration of the Matanel Garden. Thank you all very much for coming, and we are really happy and proud to launch this amazing project. I respectfully give the floor to President Ariel Porat. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Professor Itai Sene, Dean of the Gordon Faculty of Social Sciences. Mrs. Joel Aflalo, co-chair of the Matanel Foundation, Professor Adas Maman, head of the Environmental Engineering program at the Fleischmann Faculty of Engineering, colleagues and guests, both here and viewing us online. Shalom and welcome to the first of two events being held today by the BMI, Boris Mintz Institute, the inauguration of the City Garden project supported by the Matanel Foundation, which we are holding live, and the awarding of the 2021 BMI Prize via Zoom. The Matanel Garden was built at the Naftali Building at Tel Aviv University thanks to the generous donation of the Matanel Foundation, a trusted partner of Tel Aviv University for many years, which supports various social and academic projects as a path toward Tikkun Olam. The Matanel Garden, which includes a regular garden and a vertical green wall, is the first component of the larger Green Naftali plan of Dean Sened. The aim of the plan is to make the 50-year-old Naftali building carbon neutral, as well as a hub for interdisciplinary sustainability research. The newly completed garden will serve as a living laboratory for research in the fields of water, renewable energy, urban ecology, and public policy, helping to train the next generation of researchers and policymakers. I would like to stress two additional benefits of the Matanel Garden and Green Naftali projects for Tel Aviv University as a whole. The first is that they advance a major strategic priority of the university, which is to create the condition for interdisciplinary research and teaching that combines the hard sciences, exact sciences, biomedical and engineering, with the softer ones, social sciences, humanities, and arts. I believe that only through such collaboration we could enhance the multidisciplinary of the university, which is one very important strategic goal of the university. One more thing I would like to mention is that recently we launched a new center on climate change. You can see the affinity of this Green Naftali project with climate change. So the new project that has been supported and founded by the Matanel Foundation is a major event at Tel Aviv University, and I'm very glad to inaugurate this wonderful project. I think that now we have to unveil the plaque together with Dean Sened, so let's do it. Okay, I think you need there is a procedure. I'm more experienced than you. Okay, we can do it together. We're not so experienced, but I think that Itai, you deserve the credit because it's your initiative, it's your idea. I am the only one who said okay, but it is you. Okay, should I do it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, President Porat. And we will hear the recorded message of Mrs. Joella Flalo, the co-chair of the Matanel Foundation, which is thanks to their generous donation, we were able to have this event today. Please.
Good afternoon. I would have loved to be there with you today, in presence of, even virtually. For a good and happy reason, I cannot. And this message tries to connect with all of you. The Matanel Garden responds to three concerns. The ecological concern of the University of Tel Aviv to conduct research on new ways of exploiting natural resources without exerting violence against them. To propose new ways of dealing with the shortage that threaten humanity. To be part of the humanitarian gesture par excellence, which consists in developing new ways of integrating man into his environment. The Boris Mintz Institute concerns to encourage research, planning, and innovative thinking in order to promote a significant positive change in the world. The concern of the Matanel Foundation to be a laboratory of socio-ecological experiments, allowing, among other things, young researchers and young activists of the civil society to develop projects in this spirit. I give three initiatives carried out by true militants of Tikkun Olam, Edest Repairing the World, among others, Kaima Tree Nursery Farms under the leadership of Yoni Yefet Reich, the development of the Just Spironilla culture under the leadership of Zeev Degani and Maya Sabir, and exchanges with Africa, the Matanel Institute for Music in Mitsepa Ramon under the leadership of Ehud Etun. I cannot conclude without thanking Tel Aviv University for agreeing to host two projects that are the flagship projects of the Matanel Foundations. Access for All, carried by Adi Kol, domiciled at Tel Aviv University, and which we have been supporting more than 10 years, and has extended to University of Beersheba, the University of Jerusalem, and the University of Haifa. Access for All enabled thousands of people to cross the university's doors to study under the guidance of brilliant and wonderful students. Università La Noire, which offers every summer university courses to young people from the social periphery for courses that open the doors and classes of the university. This garden will only be a flagship garden if it is watered, accompanied by research to show that walls and terraces can be cultivated with spirits. Let us all together elevate our spirits through any action we do. Warm regards. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joel. I invite Professor Itai Sened, Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, to say a few words. Itai, please.
Joel just mentioned the issue of Tikkun Olam, and this Olam, this world, needs a quick fix, because if we don't fix it quickly, we will all be gone. And so this garden is going to be at the center of precisely that. The idea here is unique and very new, and that is that everybody gets together, the president suggested, to do things much faster instead of waiting till technology comes out of labs into the hands of investors, into the hands of users. It will all happen here with a number of interested investors. I just talked with one this morning with PhD students that instead of being closed in labs, they'll be running around this garden trying to figure out what technologies work, what technologies don't work, and quickly make them available to the public use, and to know quickly what is it that may work. Also, from the policy point of view, regulation, we need to know ahead of time whether a technology, good or not so good, is going to get through the system of regulators, policymakers, and politicians, or else it just ends up being another product of a very sophisticated lab that has never gotten to be used. The idea of this laboratory as we meet here in this garden is to be an open lab, open in every meaning of the term. It is open-minded, it is open to old discipline, it is open to these young high school students from the periphery who will spend time here and have some of the classes here. I can inform Joel that we just added 2 such programs precisely in her vision to the mix with those youngsters. And this should be a very vibrant environment for everybody to celebrate this idea of getting the fix in time before we get out of luck. Just as a side note, we have here in the garden a stage, and we will also have daily or weekly appearances of musicians and people from our Faculty of Arts and our Academy of Music. And it is going to be ever living, ever walking, ever exploding with new ideas. So thanks again. It was really the initiative of the Matanel Foundation, headed by so many insightful people, but with a lot of encouragement from Joel Aflalo. So thank you, Joel, and thanks everybody. We have a large crowd. Thank you all for coming. And I will now turn the stage to the top scientist of this lab, Adas Maman, who is an expert in this field. And everybody knows that she's a member of the Faculty of Engineering. No more. She's a member of our faculty because this is where her lab is, and this is where she's going to develop all of her ideas. Adas.
Okay, thanks, Itai. I would also like to thank Joel Aflalo, the co-author of Matanel Gardens. Our goal in Green Naftali is to empower our students from various disciplines to work together and to own what they want to change in the world. If we want to change the environment, we need to focus on creating new habits. We want the students to practice the change so it becomes their second nature. How is Green Naftali related to all this? Well, Green Naftali will be a platform for students to meet, to work together, to develop natural-based solutions, to develop renewable energy solutions, to develop zero waste and water and behavioral changes, to deal with climate change and the environmental challenges, both on the social, economic, public policy, and technical aspects. In addition to that, Green Naftali will be a social gathering point to students to meet, to discuss together on issues related to sustainability, to drink coffee or tea together, to screen environmental movies, and to invite guest lecturers, all happening from this actual space. In addition to that, Green Naftali will be soon registered as an official teaching class. Therefore, we can teach outside of the building, which will be a lot of fun for us as the lecturers, with a screen and speaker and a camera to allow teaching in this beautiful environment. But all this is really nice. But what is our big vision? Well, the RISE, which is the Rooftop Innovation for Sustainable Economy Lab, at the Tel Aviv University is envisioned as a multidisciplinary set of laboratories and spaces, including the Matanel Garden, the rooftop on the school's social sciences library, and all the nearby structures. The objective of RISE is to develop social leadership and the technology needed to create a sustainable future and to focus on climate, water, energy, and the food crisis. Developing new technologies for society's sustainable future requires innovation among various disciplines. Sustainability is a multidimensional subject, thus requires a multidimensional approach and education for governance, research, and development. The RISE Lab actually aims to develop this space and to facilitate this kind of practical, inventive thinking that only can exist in an interdisciplinary and between students and faculty across all the university. To achieve this objective, Professor Itai Sened, the Dean of Faculty of Social Sciences in Tel Aviv, has started to initiate this dream. The goal of our lab is actually an anti-lab. So what is an anti-lab? It's a lab that is not confined by a space. So what does it mean? It is situated outside of the building and diffused between spaces and may appear visible and invisible. It depends on how you look at it. It's a focal location in a space between our minds, of the students and the faculties that are involved, as human capital is much more critical or equally critical for sustainable development than resources. The RISE Lab is intended for our best and brightest students and faculty with an open, non-linear mind, that possibly even a chaotic mind. Actually, we prefer that. And passionate to dive deep into the sustainable practices outside of the building they learn from the inside as part of their curriculum. Another site of the Naftali will be a closed-loop cafe project. Within this project, we will develop off-grid and zero liquid discharge technologies to sustainably cultivate a vertical urban farm. So just imagine that we have here in the Tel Aviv University a cafe with an open farm, with a vertical farm, that will be designed to fit both rural and arid areas. In addition to that, the Naftali building will also target buildings at the Tel Aviv city and will target to innovate and make old buildings more sustainable. It's not just looking at new buildings, but actually existing sites. In addition to that, the RISE Lab is committed to reusing, repurposing, recycling waste generated in the university and outside. Research projects will be focused on the entire life cycle of experimental products and byproducts. Life cycle analysis will be an integral part of the RISE Lab, with emphasis on cradle-to-cradle and regenerative design ideas. The RISE Lab will support developing social leadership skills, and this is actually what we want from our students, from the best and most brightest students, to bring society closer to a sustainable ideal as much as we can, looking at the environmental challenges that are facing us in the next few years. Research projects could include optimization of vertical agriculture or could investigate societal designs and interventions and their effect on the quality of life of communities, both urban and rural and desert communities. In addition to that, if you can, I don't know if you can see the screen behind you, there is an integration of real-time data. We are monitoring carbon dioxide data, we're monitoring oxygen data, we're monitoring moisture, radiation, wind speed, and direction, and all these parameters outside of the building, and also carbon dioxide emissions within the Naftali building. In order to improve the quality of our life and understand the power of data to improve the environmental consequences of our society, and to understand how the outside integrates with the inside. The rooftop at the Naftali building will be covered by solar panels with synergistic relationship between the green roof and the Matanel garden and also the rooftop lab, and also the closed loop cafe. With our new technologies, the Rive Labs, as I said before, will serve as the focal point for our most brightest students at the Tel Aviv University to allow them to complete a PhD in social sciences, economy, political sciences, sociology, psychology, labor studies, or social work, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, life sciences, and more on. And Tel Aviv University also has a dynamic relationship with many universities in Israel and abroad, in all of the countries in the world, actually, with government and non-government organizations, with humanitarian networks, with nonprofit organizations to whom they will provide the TAU students with opportunities to contribute to the global sustainable development. And to conclude, the RISE Lab is our hope for a better and more sustainable future for the next generations. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Hadass. Thanks you all for coming. We really believe that this is just the first baby step in the big Green Naftali vision. Thanks again to the Matanel Foundation, and we hope to see you soon in the future events in the garden. Thank you.